Okay, so this is a question here. Jimmy is competing against Chris in an eating contest. The contest is to eat as many sausages as you can in 1 minute. Now, what are the factors or the variables that are going to affect the outcome? This here is one of them, like the contestant's experience. How will that affect the outcome? So we know for a fact that Jimmy has a lot of experience in eating contests. He was involved in the Stuco eating contest, did very, very well. Whereas Chris, we don't know how much experience he's had in these kind of competitions. So in this particular case, we can say that Jimmy is more likely to win because, give you reasoning, Jimmy's more likely to win because he has a lot more experience in these kind of competitions. So I use more likely rather than certain because you never know. More likely, or you could say Jimmy has a higher probability to win than Chris because of that reason. Now the food here could have an effect on the outcome. Now we might know that Jimmy doesn't like sausages and Chris loves them. So if that was the case, we could say that Chris has a higher probability of winning because Chris is because we know that he loves sausages, whereas we know that Jimmy doesn't like sausages. Then we need to know about the two contestants to be able to say that. If we don't know about those contestants, then we would have to say the food could affect the outcome if one player likes that food and one player doesn't like that food. But if we know the contestants, we can say this person has a higher probability because of that reason. Now, the referee, how could the referee affect the outcome? Now, if we imagine that the referee is blind and deaf, if the referee is blind and deaf, then we could say that both contestants have an equal chance of success because there is no way that the referee will be able to tell who has won. We've used the mathematical vocabulary here, more likely, higher probability, and even chance. That's using the maths vocabulary, and we're using it in a logical way. We're explaining why we've used that. Higher probability because of this reason. More likely because of this reason. Even chance because of this reason. So that's our lines of reasoning. We could use a higher probability, we're using the word representation. We could also use a percentage representation if we want, but in this case I think the word representation works best. So again, we're communicating our mathematics, we're using the vocabulary, and we're using our reasoning as well. So that's how you'd answer these kind of questions.